This is the second time in the last 3 years that hundreds and even thousands of sea lion pups have washed up on California beaches from Sausalito to San Diego. Marine mammal researchers say they might have a reason for the disturbing trend, which is putting a strain on wildlife rescue organizations. Here with the details are my guest, marine veterinarian Stephanie Van Watson with the National Marine Mammal Foundation and biologist Mark LOWRY with the NOAA National Marine Fisheries Service. And Stephanie, you've been involved in recent rescue efforts. How old are these pups typically, and what kind of condition are they in?
Sure, these pups are only 7 to 9 months old. They're weak, dehydrated, and malnourished.
And are some of them sick as well?
They have a compromised immune systems, many of them because they're not getting enough nutrition. So some of them are carrying bacterial infections that are affecting them as well.
And are there certain beaches, Stephanie, where more pups are being stranded?
They are stranding throughout the coastline, so anybody should be aware along the Southern California coast that if you do see a pup, to be able to get help.
Now, Mark, as we know, this has been happening over the last few years, it seems, and it seems like the numbers have been increasing. What's the working theory on why these pups are being on the beaches more?
Well, right now it's because there's a lot of warm water, and that's a result of the upwelling has diminished or been greatly reduced from what there normally is during other years, and that's mainly caused by the winds, the northwest winds. Decreased in intensity.
So this upwelling is a weather pattern, not a climate change, correct?
No, the upwelling is basically cold, nutrient-rich water that's way deep, comes up to the surface, and that starts the food chain going.
Okay.
You start getting plankton, diatoms, and then goes up, the fish start eating, and it goes right up to the sea lions eventually.
So then these sea lion mothers, the mothers of the pups, then they're going deeper into the ocean to get this food that they would normally get because the upwelling would be.
Well, it's probably because what they normally eat is not as abundant, or it's moved someplace else, like maybe further north or further offshore, or some species that just go down deeper.
I see. So it is related to some weather pattern changes, and so it appears that these pups, mothers, are actually going deeper into the ocean. And is that a reason why they're being stranded, perhaps?
We think it's a combination of things. So if mothers are gone longer, that's less time that they're spending. These pups should be nursing their moms. They shouldn't be out looking for fish and making it to shore. And then the other could be that the nutrients in the milk may be lower as well.
I see. Now, SeaWorld has rescued, I understand, nearly 500 sea lion pups this year alone. They've released, I understand, 75 back into the ocean. What happens typically to a rescued pup, and how likely is it that a pup would be released back into the ocean?
Sure. Well, the pups come into the rehab center and they get immediate attention. They get an assessment to say how malnourished are they, what kind of care do they need. They're getting hydrated, they're getting food. A lot of times it's called a fish gruel that they get fed, and then they'll be working their way through rehab. The success rate in 2013 was actually pretty high. More than 50% of the sea lions that came into rehab were able to get back, and it really looked like they did successful once they got released. This year we're standing by. More are stranding, and they're stranding earlier and younger.
And so you need to rehabilitate them, not just physically, but teach them how to hunt and be able to survive going to these deeper waters?
That's right, and those skills are really coming to them pretty naturally, but giving them an ability to be able to learn from each other, the pups, is just as important to chase those fish.
What should you do if you're walking along the beach and you see what you think is a stranded sea lion pup?
So you should keep your hands off and away. So as we mentioned, they do have compromised immune systems. They are carrying bacterial infections that can be transmitted
like
to
salmonella,
people. Like
perhaps?
Salmonella, exactly, is a common one that's found. And then, according to the Marine Mammal Protection Act, it's also against the law to go in contact and interfere with marine mammals. So the best thing that they can do is call the hotline and the Stranding Marine Mammal Hotline, and that allows the people who are trained and able to respond to be there.
Okay, they can also bite too. They're hungry, they're scared, they're alone, they can also bite. What else can you do? You can call that hotline number that we just saw on our screen. What else can you do if you really want to help in this effort to understanding and helping the bigger process here?
There is a fantastic way to help thanks to the Waite Foundation. They have kindly offered a matching grant for $25,000 for every dollar that somebody donates, that the public donates. They're going to match it dollar for dollar for up to $25,000. We have a goal of $50,000 to raise, and this is specifically to help respond to the immediate and urgent care of these sea lions.
And people can find that information online on our website, kpbs.org. Veterinarian Stephanie Van Watson, thank you so much. And Mark Lowry, thank you.
Great, thank you, Peggy.